Hello everyone, this is Lomi, and today I'm tackling the first part of my customization project, making Rune's wig. For this project I'm using low-temp hot glue gun, hair scissors, a comb and brush, plastic, a rubber band, stretch fabric, and the hair of course. Putting the plastic under the fabric keeps the glue from seeping through and gluing the wig to the doll's head. The fabric I'm using isn't as stretchy as I thought it would be, so I first stretch it over his head and anchor it with a rubber band. Then I move the fabric around so the only major folds are at the back of the head where they won't affect how the wig lays. Using a marker, I draw the hairline I'm shooting for and add directional arrows showing how I want the hair to lay. The circle on the back will be his ponytail. Since there are so many gathers on the back and I'm worried about them shifting, I glue a hair weft to the bottom edge first to hold it in place. This is typically a bad idea since that hair will get in your way as you add the rest, but I'm willing to make the trade-off to keep the wig from moving. Normally you'd start where I'm putting wefts now, at the very edge of the circle. All the hair will face this spot, and since the synthetic hair is thick, I'm leaving the circle open to glue his ponytail down later. Once I have the circle lined, I add wefts with a small space between them, filling in the space between the ponytail and the bottom edge, occasionally stopping to brush the hair to keep it from getting too tangled. The hair I'm using is salvaged from an old cosplay wig, so I have to trim loose threads now and then. Once the back of the wig is filled in, I start moving up over the top. Before I reach the area in front of the ear, I cut some small pieces of hair to glue on to serve as sideburns, since those don't follow the direction of the rest of the hair. Then I go back to gluing wefts on in rows, turning the end of them under and overlapping the top of the sideburn wefts. When I'm closer to the front, I pause to add the piece that hangs down in front of his face. Then I start cutting smaller sections of weft, filling in the arched space so I end up with a nice square hairline. Then I remove the wig and very carefully trim along the edge to remove the extra fabric. Once that's done, I glue a weft on the inside edge of the wig with the hair hanging down. I glue it all around the edge so I can fold it up and hide the cut edge of the fabric all the way around the wig. One last finishing touch for the hanging piece is adding a weft that lays in the opposite direction, with the hair laying over the top of his head. I'll be able to fold this down and style it so it hides the wefts in glue. Once the glue is cool, I brush the hair and gather it all up into a ponytail and secure it with an elastic band. Then I cut off the extra hair so it won't be so heavy. The magnets in his head cap need to be re-glued, so it's tough to get the wig to stay on. After a few more adjustments to the position of the ponytail, I use hair clips to hold the strands in the direction I want them to go. Then I stuff the wig with paper so I don't have to use the hairdryer directly on my doll. I heat and cool the wig at least 10 times, making careful adjustments every time. For the front hanging piece, which proves really stubborn, I mix a little white glue with water and apply it to the wig and clip the hair down. This is safer to use and easier to clean up than hairspray, which can damage a doll's sealant. I use the hairdryer on a low setting just to dry the glue, then it's time to finish the ponytail. What you don't see is me putting a little white glue on the elastic band and pressing it against the wig cap. This helps hold the ponytail in place. His hair is supposed to be rough and choppy since he cuts it himself, so I cut small pieces at a time and cut from a random angle. Then to add a bit more texture, I use more white glue on the tips of the ponytail. Now it's done. It's not too bad, but it's also a little bulkier than I wanted, and the ponytail is a little too stiff and thick, which is a downside of using synthetic fibers. Since I'm not totally happy with this attempt, I'll be trying again. I'll have a different sort of wig to share in a few weeks. Hope to see you then!